In an ancient forest, a small dinosaur is calmly walking when it suddenly meets a giant T-Rex. The fierce hunter starts chasing the little dinosaur until it's trapped at the edge of a cliff. The poor creature shakes with fear as the T-Rex gets ready to eat it. But then, it turns out this is just a scene in a movie with dinosaurs made by a computer. After finishing work, the movie director, Jeff, is leaving the set when he gets a message from his assistant. She says she heard rumors about dinosaurs appearing in a small town and is planning a trip to investigate. Even though dinosaurs went extinct long ago, Jeff agrees to join because it could be a big chance for his career. Far away, a boy named Ethan is filming his sister, Madison, while she eats breakfast. He wants to show her singing talent to make them famous online. But Madison doesn't like being in public and hides in a treehouse to be alone. Ethan keeps trying because he knows his sister has a special gift and should share it with the world. Madison wants to keep it a secret and changes the topic fast. While Ethan goes to town to see a new phone, the siblings walk along the street. Ethan films with his phone and suddenly sees an accident. A driver, distracted by their phone, hits an old man named Mortimer. Madison runs to check on him, and he gives her a bag before fainting. She rushes home and finds an egg inside the bag. Soon, the egg hatches into a baby dinosaur. Madison names it Spike. The little dinosaur is very excited, but Madison sings, and her soft voice calms it down. Ethan puts a tracker on Spike, but the dinosaur swallows it. Back in town, Jeff and his assistant arrive and stop at a cafe. They talk about the dinosaur rumors and plan a documentary. A waitress named Wendy overhears them and seems to know something about the rumors. At the hospital, Mortimer wakes up after the accident. When the nurse leaves, he sneaks to another room and takes a doctor's outfit. A nurse mistakes him for a real doctor and brings him to an operating room. Shocked by the sight, he faints, then wakes up in a wheelchair. He escapes the hospital to find the bag and egg in another part of town. Jeff and his assistant interview people at the hospital about the dinosaur sightings. They first talk to a doctor and his assistant, who claim they've spent their lives trying to recreate dinosaurs. But the hospital doctor reveals they're actually patients from a mental hospital, and their stories aren't true. Jeff and his assistant waste time and must find new people to interview for their documentary. Back at the treehouse, the little dinosaur explores. Ethan shows Madison the video of the accident. Before fainting, Mortimer mentioned Wendy's name. The siblings think Wendy knows about Spike's origin and decide to meet her to learn more. But before they go, Spike sees a mysterious gate open in the forest and runs out of the treehouse. The dinosaur heads to town, and in seconds, it grows much bigger. At the same time, Jeff goes to City Hall to get permission to interview town residents. The mayor, Mason, agrees, but after Jeff leaves, Wendy shows up and reveals she's Mason's daughter. She asks why her father allowed the interviews, as they might expose a gate connecting the town to a dinosaur world. Mason calms her, saying the gate only opens on full moon nights, and the film crew will be gone by then. The mayor and Wendy head home, but as they leave City Hall, they meet Mortimer, who escaped the hospital. He says he knows about the gate to the dinosaur world and knew Wendy's grandmother long ago. He found the dimension where dinosaurs never died out, and the egg came from that gate. Now he needs to return the egg to its world. Wendy invites him to the cafe to learn more. There, Mortimer explains he was waiting for the gate to open on the next full moon but got in the accident and gave the egg to the kids. At that moment, Ethan and Madison arrive at the cafe to find Wendy and tell her the egg hatched, and the dinosaur escaped. This is bad news because Mortimer says when a dinosaur passes through the gate, it changes and grows huge. His theory is proven when Spike appears outside the cafe, much bigger than before. The group chases Spike but can't find it. Madison invites Wendy and Mortimer to her house to plan how to return Spike to its world. Meanwhile, Jeff and his film crew use the town to shoot more scenes and suddenly meet Spike. People scream in fear, and the scared dinosaur runs into an alley. Realizing the dinosaur rumors are true, the crew decides to track it down. But they need an expert. They go to the cafe and contact a local paleontologist. A co-worker of Wendy overhears their plan. Wendy learns about the crew's plan and thinks of ways to stop them. Mortimer pretends to be the paleontologist and meets Jeff at the cafe, promising to lead them to a dinosaur nest. Hours later, the group enters the forest in town, and Mortimer slows them down by following fake clues. Meanwhile, Wendy, Ethan, and Madison go to the forest because Wendy knows exactly where the gate to the dinosaur world will open. They stand in the right spot, but the gate opens early and appears right in front of the film crew. This shocks Mortimer, who warns everyone to stay away. But the assistant ignores him and steps through the gate to look closer. She returns and says the other side is a world where dinosaurs still live. Jeff demands Mortimer explain, but before he can, Spike appears, looking fierce. Mortimer tries to calm Spike, and then Wendy and the siblings arrive. But their presence makes Spike more upset and ready to attack. Madison steps forward and tries to remind Spike who she is, using her singing to calm it. It works, and she leads Spike away. But on the way, Spike gets distracted and runs off. The film crew tries to follow, but Mortimer tricks them by saying another dinosaur is coming from behind. They believe the lie, and Mortimer runs after Wendy and Spike. When Jeff realizes he was fooled, he and his crew chase Spike and find it lost in the forest. Jeff tries to calm Spike like Madison did. As Spike starts to relax, the crew uses ropes to tie it up. Spike struggles but is too tired and falls. They lock it in a cage on their truck. Ethan and the others use the tracker to find Spike and see Jeff taking it away with their gear. They stop Jeff and demand he return Spike to go back through the gate to its home. Jeff says he won't hurt Spike but insists on keeping it for science and fame. He leaves, and Madison tries to stop him, but Mortimer holds her back, saying they'll find another way to save Spike. Mortimer tells the story of how he first found the dinosaur world as a kid, showing them a drawing he made. He saw the gate open in the forest and stepped through, finding a world full of all kinds of dinosaurs. But when he tried to go home, the gate closed, trapping him for a month. He searched for other gates but failed until he found giant meteor-like crystals that absorb moonlight on full moon nights to open the gates. For one day, the dinosaur and human worlds connect. Mortimer finally got home and kept it a secret, protecting the world from dinosaurs. But now, the gates open even without a full moon, likely because the crystals are out of control. They must destroy them before others cross the gate. After his story, the group splits up. Madison and Wendy go to town to find Spike. They meet the film crew at the cafe and sneak in without being noticed. Wendy borrows glasses and a hat to disguise herself and sits near the crew. She hears the assistant's plan to show the dinosaur at the town theater and broadcast it live to get rich. Wendy tells Madison, and they rush to the treehouse to warn Ethan and Mortimer. They don't know where Spike is but know it's still in town. Mortimer and Wendy plan a solution while Ethan and Madison are called home for dinner. After eating, they watch TV news about a big event at the town theater. The organizers won't say what it is but promise it's amazing. Madison suspects it's about Spike and calls Wendy and Mortimer to meet at the treehouse. At the theater, the crew prepares for the big show with Spike in a cage. But moving between worlds makes Spike grow and break the cage easily. Everyone panics except the assistant, who orders security to stop the dinosaur. They shoot a tranquilizer at Spike, knocking it out. Jeff disagrees with this and says he didn't hire security. The assistant admits she made the call without asking him. She's tired of following Jeff's orders and wants to control everything and keep the profits. Shocked, Jeff realizes capturing Spike was wrong. Meanwhile, Madison and her friends gather to rescue Spike. Wendy's dad, Mason, helps with a theater map showing all entrances. They plan to sneak in. Mason will give money for tickets to enter unnoticed. Then they'll split up. Wendy and Mortimer will find Spike, while Ethan and Madison hack the theater's security system. Once done, they'll stop the live broadcast so Wendy and Mortimer can free Spike without being seen. Mason will wait with a truck at the back to take Spike to the forest. The group agrees and promises to save Spike. Hours later, they reach the ticket counter, but tickets are sold out. Luckily, Madison and Ethan's mom arrives with pre-bought tickets for the kids. Now, they need to get Wendy and Mortimer inside. Ethan has a plan. At the entrance, security asks for phones to be placed on a table. Ethan offers his phone but pulls it back, starting a tug-of-war with the guard. This chaos lets Wendy and Mortimer sneak inside. But another guard at the stage asks for their tickets. Wendy says she's the mayor's daughter and Mortimer is her bodyguard, here for the show. She acts angry that the guard doesn't know her and threatens her dad will fire him. Scared, the guard lets them in. Meanwhile, Mason directs the truck to park behind the theater for Spike's escape. But he can't drive the truck and must find another way to help. The big show moment arrives, and Ethan and Madison find the security computer. It's password protected, and Ethan can't hack it. He pulls out all the computer's wires to stop the live broadcast. Soon, the assistant steps on stage to start the show, but Ethan's trick stops the curtains and lights from working. She senses something's wrong, and Spike appears behind her. The dinosaur breaks free and runs toward the audience, making everyone panic and flee. Wendy tries to calm Spike, while Ethan plugs his phone into the sound system to play Madison's song. Madison runs on stage, grabs the mic, and sings to soothe Spike. For the first time, she shares her talent with a crowd, and her amazing voice calms the dinosaur. The audience claps wildly for Madison. She saved everyone before Spike could attack. Amid the cheers, the assistant tries to grab the mic, but Wendy takes it and says she has something to tell the town. Wendy explains the dinosaur rumors are true, and Spike came from another world through a secret gate. She asks everyone to keep it a secret so greedy people won't capture dinosaurs. Everyone agrees to stay quiet, except the assistant, who insists on continuing the broadcast. Jeff steps in, saying the broadcast is off. He admits he was wrong to capture Spike, fires his assistant, and praises Madison's talent, offering her a role in a TV show if she wants. Everyone is thrilled, but Spike still needs to go home. On the way, Ethan sees the tracker signal, but it's not inside Spike anymore. The assistant grabs Ethan's phone, sees the tracker pointing to the dinosaur, and calls security to catch it. But she only finds Spike's poop and slips on it. Meanwhile, Mason searches for a vehicle and remembers an old truck in his garage. He drives it to take Spike and the group back to the forest where the gate opens again. Madison says goodbye to Spike. Though it doesn't want to leave its friends, they convince it to go home safely. Before the gate closes, Mortimer invites everyone to step through to see the dinosaur world. They enter and see a huge forest full of strange creatures. Spike makes friends with other dinosaurs, and the group finds a meteor piece that opens the gate. Soon, they reach a giant crystal that made the gate. Mortimer says he'll stay to destroy all the crystals so no one can enter or leave again. The kids are sad to leave Mortimer, but he says he'll be fine and hugs them goodbye. The group returns to the human world. Mortimer asks Spike to destroy the last crystal. Spike roars, signaling other dinosaurs. They swing their tails, smashing the crystals around the island. All the gates close forever. Back in the human world, Madison and the others are sad to leave Mortimer and Spike but know they're safe. The next morning, TV news interviews locals about the theater rumors. Keeping their promise to Wendy,